Raw, Alexa Bliss made the comment that if Randy Orton wants to get rid of her, he has to get rid of her himself, and gave him this opportunity on Fastlane. And Randy Orton immediately accepted. And so now WWE has the audacity to promote Randy Orton versus Alexa Bliss in a singles match, intergender, for Fastlane. This match will not happen, but let's say it will happen. Let's say that we actually do see them lock up. For starters, they're not going to lock up. If they do participate in anything that might be physical, it'd probably be cinematic in nature, with a lot of magic and pentagrams and fairy dust and all kinds of other weirdness. But obviously the whole point of this thing is we're going to start building towards the Fiend's return. So that does this mean that we have to destroy Alexa Bliss so that the Fiend can become free again? Like there's the likelihood that it could happen. This is the only match, this and Apollo Crews versus Big E, and I guess Sheamus and Drew McIntyre, that have real weight behind them as far as storyline. You know, that this feud has been going on for months. This has been going on since November? This Fiend Alexa Bliss Randy Orton thing's been going on since before Hell in a Cell, right? Or right after Hell in a Cell, one of the two. So this thing has some real weight to it. So I'm okay with them going ahead and promoting Alexa Bliss versus Randy Orton. A lot of people are going to be upset because the match is not actually going to happen. And they're going to be like, it's a bait and switch. It's a bait and switch. Which is why I think they're probably going to do something cinematic. Or they're going to do something where Alexa Bliss doesn't come by herself. Maybe she brings some type of ghouls or goblins with her. That would be a cool visual if she was to bring like some big guys to help her in the match with no disqualification or something like that. And they beat up Randy Orton and she tries to pin him, over and over again or something like that. Like there's ways to do this and make it fun and make it interesting without it looking like stupid shit. And I know some people are going to be like, but Lucha Underground, Lucha Underground went out of business. Okay? Nobody wants to see men fight women. It just, there's no market for it. It doesn't help men or women. It just doesn't. And I know a lot of people are really good proponents of intergender wrestling. This channel does not support intergender wrestling. And it's not because of my old domestic violence or anything like that. It's just not something it's not something I'm interested in. I did see a story recently about Lufisto, a female wrestler who has been trying to get intergender wrestling legalized in Canada. I should have did a story on that, but I really wasn't paying that much attention to it. But I've seen quite a few of these stories. I did videos before about intergender wrestling. Kylie Ray, before she retired, started talking about, I don't believe I should be pigeonholed because of my gender. And I'm like, well, look, I said it once and I say it again. These matches, these intergender matches, they don't benefit the men at all. If a woman is half your size and is keeping up with you with her lack of upper body strength, you're doing all the work. All right? You're pretty much body slamming yourself. You're going to be selling punches and kicks and shit that she can't really do you any damage. And sure, people are going to be like, but what about Ronda Rousey? If you, untrained guy, were to fight Ronda Rousey, you lose. I mean, probably. If I was untrained, but these are not untrained guys. This is not Alexa Bliss versus a fan. And even if that's the case, a guy can land a punch and do some pretty good damage. All right. So let's not get too far afield with that concept. So it just doesn't work. It's not fun. It's not interesting. It's going to turn a bunch of people off. But it's been a feud filled with magic. So I expect this to be a match or a segment that is going to be filled with magic. I especially also expect it to main event the show. Believe it or not. Because there's so much magic and nonsense that has been involved in this feud, that I do expect it to end the show. Now, that's the one thing that's probably going to bother a lot of people, because they're going to be like, well, Daniel Bryan and Roman Reigns obviously should finish the show. Or Drew McIntyre versus Sheamus should close the show. Those are two main event feuds. So I say, well, Sheamus just lost clean on TV to Lashley. I don't see why you don't build guys and keep them strong for pay-per-view matches, but WWE they don't care. So likely Lashley and McIntyre probably go on first. I mean, McIntyre and Sheamus probably go on first because there's no chance of Sheamus actually winning. And then if he does win, he doesn't get anything, so it doesn't matter. So Daniel Bryan's chances of winning are very slim to none. So I definitely see this match as being the match they put on last to leave people with a lasting impression as the show goes off the air. There will obviously be magic. Will Randy Orton get firebombed or set on fire or something like that? Probably not. Will The Fiend return? More than likely, yes. More than likely, they're going to do the big reveal of The Fiend's new look, his new presentation. But we're going to have to get up to that point. The point being, how long is this thing going to last, and what are they going to be doing? A lot of magic and nonsense like that. So I'm not upset that they're going to support or push Randy Orton versus Alexa Bliss, because I don't expect Alexa Bliss to be out there doing collar and elbow tie-ups with Randy Orton. I don't see that happening. And I doubt the sponsors or NBC or anybody else will be okay with that. So not going to get too tied in a knot about this. There's more than enough stuff on Fastlane to get mad about. This isn't one of them.